Hi gardening friends, if you struggle growing arborvitaes, I may have the perfect conifer for you, and we will be doing a bit of post-summer cleanup. Stay tuned. Okay y'all, so on the left is a 5 to 6 foot southern lace Hinoki Cypress, and on the right is a 3 to 4 foot southern lace Hinoki Cypress. These are being planted to replace the multiple rounds of dying Virginian Arborvitaes. I've only had one that has survived, so the choice was, well, maybe try the Green Giant, the smaller cultivar. So the baby, I think we were going to try the baby giant, the baby Green Giant, or just try something different. And I was initially kind of concerned how the three would look together, because as I will show you, there's a trio of arbs, 2 dead ones, 1 that's alive, and I was concerned about how the color and foliage would work together. But right now, looking at these near my patio, I'm optimistic about how well these Hinoki Cypress will pair with the Virginian Arb. So let's see. So here are the 3 arbs, the one in the middle, part of my first iteration that has survived, and the one on the right and the left have been replaced twice, and I'm having no luck with those. Okay, got them in the ground. The smaller ones on the right, the existing Virginian Arbor Vitae is in the middle, and then the taller, the 5 to 6 foot Southern Lace Hinoki Cypress is on the left. And look at the leaf texture of the Hinoki Cypress and the color compared to the Arb. Not much difference there. It's going to move the one on the left, which is the tallest, in the position of the one on the right, because I've had greater success with these conifers in the spot on the right, and because this one costs so much more, if I'm going to risk losing another one, I'd rather lose the small one versus the large one. But now that I look at them, I don't know, something is telling me to just let them be. This area is a mess, and if I can get to all of this before it starts raining again, I'll be happy. But I've already cut back one Agastaki. I'm gonna have my husband get all these leaves out of here. I think this has been bad for this plant, so we're gonna cut them all back because they look horrible, and last year they were just beautiful, and get these leaves out of here and see what kind of show it puts on for fall. As you can see, these leaves are in here just rotting away, and that cannot be good for this plant. So just gonna have to get them out. Should have done that after the leaves dropped late winter, but it's kind of overwhelming. And now my poor plants are paying the price. But okay, so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to continue my work from yesterday over here. I trimmed down these rose bushes and also these East Friesland salvia. So they're looking much better now. Pulled a lot of the weeds out of the base of them because it's just doing them no favors. I trimmed down the Agastaki, so this drift of 6 Agastaki, I trimmed them down and tried to get a lot of the leaves out. Going to continue to try and get more of the leaves out of here and out of this area, although it's so wet because we got rain yesterday. And then today I need to trim these Mystic Spire salvia back so we can get a beautiful fall flush from them. And then I'll be done with this side of the amount of tree space. so all done. We have gotten this Live and Large Big Sky Salvia cut back. These Bolero roses. These are own root roses that were received as bands. You know, everything in this space, every plant with the exception of those along the fence line, these all went in last year. The ones along the fence line went in 2 years ago. So this is a baby garden. So please take that into account. But we've got the roses cut back a bit, basically just deadheading, spent blooms, and the Caryopteris is doing okay. We'll see how it performs over here. We have to see if it possibly needs more sun because it is a full sun perennial. However, I mapped out this spot and it should receive about 6 hours of sun daily. All of the Blue Fortune Agastaki, so all 6 of them. So starting with this one and then 2 and then going back. This area has the Blue Fortune Agastaki, white Bolero roses, Green Mountain boxwoods. And then here is another Caryopteris, Beyond Midnight Caryopteris. And then this is where the drift of Mystic Spire Salvia begins. They were all cut back as well. We got those cut back. And then these gorgeous plants right here. So there's 1, 2. This is a yard line viburnum. And then more Mystic Spire Salvia. And then for vertical interest, there is an El Nino Chaitalpa that will go up to the sky. Oh, okay, not quite. And then it is flanked by 2 Mystic Spire Salvia. And then, of course, here is another yard line viburnum right here. So turning around and pointing the other way. So this is this baby space. Compost was added throughout the area, especially the areas around the plants, to assist in the breakdown of these leaves. And fall is another great time of year, actually late summer. Fall is a great time of year to feed the soil because you'll know the better soil you have, the better plants you will grow in that soil. Evergreen interest for every garden is so important. So the front is lined with baby gem boxwoods, and then this area over here has Green Mountain boxwoods that will become about 5 feet in height. And then along the fence, those are Blue Point junipers that I've finally gotten to grow. So that's about it for this little late summer cleanup. Comparison of the Arborvitae to the Southern Lace Hinoki Cypress. Thank you so much for watching this video. We really do appreciate it. Please comment below, or if you have any questions, do the same. Be more than happy to answer any questions. And please consider clicking like, subscribe, and notifications. And I hope you have a great day in your garden. Bye.